But local animal rescuers, police in Detroit shoot a lot of dogs. We did the research. 100 canines shot at by police in the past 3 years. But local animal rescuers say the issue is complicated.
There's a story behind those numbers, really.
Absolutely.
Police work, of course, means making tough.
First of all, which police officers just randomly selecting dogs to just shoot? Are there police officers just randomly selecting a random dog in its yard and just going in there and just shooting it and walking away for no reason?
Tough split-second decisions. It comes with the job.
That's right. And sometimes those quick decisions involve the use of lethal force against man's best friend. Local 4 investigative reporter
and remember, dogs are not man's best friend. If they were man's best friend, why are police shooting them? If dogs were man's best friend, why would the police need to shoot them? They don't shoot birds. They don't shoot any other animal except dogs. Okay, there's exception with bears, coyotes, but when a dog is stepping to police, more times than not, the police are going to shoot the dog because this dog is coming up to them aggressively, whether, they're growling, barking. This hideous, dangerous creature is coming up to them. It's either they sacrifice themselves to grope the dog or don't take any chances and they put the dog down. These cannot be man's best friends. Dogs cannot be man's best friend if there are so many problems with them, which have led to police having to kill them.
Karen Drew spent months gathering and going through the numbers of Detroit police dog shooting incidents, and she joins us now with what all she's uncovered. Karen.
Well, Devin and Kim, over the next 90 minutes, we are going to take a deep dive into the deadly dog issue in Detroit. Canines being killed by cops, why it's happening, what can be done to solve the problem. But first, we start with the issue at hand. The city of Detroit has a serious stray dog problem. It's a
Yeah, we're going to continue. Again, stray dogs. Stray dogs. No one's going to take a chance with stray dogs. Not even the most notorious dog lover is going to take their chance with stray dogs without any kind of weapon or food or bait. No, they're not going to take any chances. Either they use some item, food, or they're going to have to use physical force, such as, using their guns or firearms or weapons.
It's a common sight. Stray dogs roaming neighborhoods in Detroit. We caught this guy over on Michigan Avenue around 24th Street.
I have no idea how many dogs in population here.
Lori Soul manages Detroit's animal control.
I can tell you it's a big population.
Last month, more homeless dogs wound up at Detroit's animal shelter than any time in the past 3 years. So how did it get so bad? Experts say it was the 2009 housing explosion. Everyone left their homes and then left their dogs, and then those dogs repopulated. Then COVID hit and people got more dogs and the population grew even larger.
And now all the people that have COVID dogs that, have to go back to work, now they're faced with, what do I do?
After reading through...
Again, these things are worthless. They're worthless. Just put them down. Put them down. They have no lives. They don't live lives for themselves. This is fact. Look at this. I can see it. If I won't find it. Look at this. This is fact. That these things cannot live for themselves. They can't. They're worthless. There's this huge population of them. They don't know what to do with them because stray dogs are a problem, so you can't set them free. Keeping dogs in these cages are a problem. Nobody wants them. Just put them down. Put them down.
People that have COVID dogs that, or have to go back to work, now they're
Police officers. In the reports, it was often mentioned the dogs were aggressive. We also noticed some disturbing trends. In 2020, Detroit police officers were involved in 24 dog shooting incidents. In 2021, it was 32. And then last year, 44 dogs were shot by cops in the city. Most of them died.
There's an incredible amount of irresponsible dog owners in the city of Detroit.
This is a large
And you see the trend. It's all pit bulls or bully breeds or whatever you want to call them. These things are worthless, man. They're worthless.
dog area.
Detroit Dog Rescue, one of the several groups that try to save Detroit's abandoned and neglected dogs.
We see a lot of dogs tethered or left in backyards or left in abandoned houses, and what they turn into are socially sensory deprived dogs.
No. They were always like that. Whether they're socialized or have a loving home, loving owner, whether they're rescued, it doesn't matter with these ones. And these people just use these excuses. They use various excuses just to find a lie to sell. So they can sell a lie to a lot of these dog nutters. Again, put these things down. Eliminate them.
We followed Christina Rinaldi and her team around for years, showing what they do and how they try to help.
Detroit has come such a long way, and I feel so lucky to see the progression. But we also have to be realistic. We have abandoned houses, where drug dealers are storing dogs and drugs.
How does Detroit compare to other cities when it
I'm
comes?
so confused here. How did we go from police shooting these things to them, pretty much marketing these worthless mutts? I'm so confused here. First they're talking about police killing them, and then all of a sudden it seems like a sob story just to sell these things. Again, it doesn't matter. And again, I do not care if they're socialized or not socialized. It doesn't matter. These things are dangerous. People know they're dangerous. They know you gotta train these things. They know that. Put them down. They're worthless. They don't live for themselves. They can't. This proves it. Only these things are locked up in cages by the numbers worldwide. And they're worshipped at the same time, but people are so ignorant to realize that dogs, specifically pit bulls, are worthless. Put these things down. Eliminate the pit bull, the bully breed, or whatever they're called. Eliminate the dog. Welcome back. Another Worthless Mutts. This is part 3 of Canada's dog problem. We're going to finish up. There's still a little bit left to cover. Might go a little off topic like I always do with some things. I'm going to correct myself. In the Seinfeld video, Dognuttery and Seinfeld, they mentioned how in the pilot episode, Kramer was in Jerry's apartment first, and then the dog came in. I was wrong. I was incorrect with that statement. What happened was the dog entered Jerry's apartments first and jumped straight on to George. So I'm going to correct myself. But nevertheless, this is sort of based on the video I made that I found. 30 mistakes that Seinfeld humans make with Farfel the dog. And this is going to be filled with a lot of dog nuttery. Jerry dismisses the value of the human-dog bond. Again, who cares? Who cares? There's no value in it. It's just lies. Gavin asks Jerry whom he has just met to take care of the dog while he's in the hospital. Okay. And move on. When Jerry expresses hesitation about assuming responsibility for the worthless mutt, Gavin says, I'm sure it's only for a day or two. Okay. Jerry tries to retrieve his shoe from the worthless mutt in what seems to the dog like a game of tug of war. So in the episode, this dog is basically mauling on Jerry's possessions. Jerry yells, give me that, you stupid idiot," at Farfel. And they add, "This is mean and unhelpful." Who cares? They don't know what's mean yet. They haven't seen mean. Mean is Marshall and Millions. That is mean. Putting dogs down like that is mean. This is being nice. I mean, you can't allow these, again, they're calling these things man's best friend. But they're allowed to chew on our stuff, and we should just, be gentle with it and not react to it. Frick that. No, unacceptable. And then when a dog isn't behaving that way, we want them to, it's likely due to boredom, fear of lack of retraining. Again, why is that our business? Why is this our problem? Why is it our problem if a dog is bored, fearful, lack, whatever? Why? Who cares? Who cares? If they're living in our home, then they should adapt to us. Because without the human, these things would be out in the cold or wherever dying. Slowly dying. So why do we have to give up so much for these things and they give nothing in return? Jerry yells, "Shut up," in effort to curb the barking. What else is he supposed to say? And they say, "I've noted that many of Seinfeld plots would have turned out differently if Jerry had internet access." It doesn't matter. Go to the internet. There's a million things and a bunch of lies regarding these dogs. So much lies. Like dogs are man's best friend, for example. Jerry calls Farfel an idiot. I would have called it a worthless mutt. Trying to get Jerry to come see prognosis negative in the movie theater despite his fear that Farfel will go to the bathroom in his house. Of course, dogs are disgusting and gross. Jerry has a point there. George too asks about the newspaper. Who cares? Jerry calls Farfel stink breath because dogs are stink. They stink inside and out. In the stand-up, Jerry calls picking up, the lowest function of human. Oh, okay. I remember this one. Jerry, okay, in the stand-up, Jerry calls picking up dog poop the lowest function of life, which it is. And this person says incorrect. Good citizens shouldn't do cleanup after their... What the heck is this? Man. It's disgusting. And I've seen in real life, I've seen people walk and carry the shit bags. It's disgusting. I'm not saying to leave it there, but again, you don't need a dog. So if you don't have a dog, you don't have shit to pick up, but you choose to want to pick up your dog's shit, which makes you a shit picker. In the same bit, Jerry says if aliens were watching through telescopes, they're going to think that dogs are the leaders. Of course. They're being worshipped. They're being worshipped as if they can't do any wrong. If you see two life forms, one of them's making a poop, the other one's carrying it for him, who would you assume was in charge? Jerry has a point here. Then they're going off on aliens. Like, come on. If they can go off on aliens, why can't they just, recognize the truth about dogs? And first off, again, dogs are not man's best friend. Jerry yells bad dog at Farfel because of his continued bathroom issues. No dogs are bad. No dogs are bad. Can you believe this? And yelling at your dog for an accident is not the way to train it. Again, dogs don't understand yelling. Dogs do not understand yelling. A desperate Jerry tells Farfel, "I'll give you your money. How much?" They can be purchased money by humans. There is no evidence that they have any use for cash, obviously. Yeah, anyways, I'm not going to go through all of it, but you guys get the point. Kramer calls Farfel a mutt as an insult. Mutts or mixed breed dogs are wonderful. On average, they also may have health advantage over pure breeds. Again, who cares? But you guys get the point. This is just pure dognuttery. Trying to defend these worthless mutts. Unacceptable. But anyways, we're going to continue with our problems, Canada's dog problem, but kind of relating, this story relates to where there are foxes terrorizing a neighborhood, and in Washington there are rodents that are causing problems in the city. What does this remind you of? This reminds me of dogs, stray dogs, terrorizing countries, terrorizing neighborhoods, communities, homes. I mean, just all it takes is one dog, though. One dog. All it takes is one dog to cause a problem. You see one fox, oh well. One coyote, yeah. One rat, one mouse, yeah. In the city, you move on with your life. But when you see just one dog, or hear just one dog, that causes a massive problem. People are scared, they're fearful, they're in that flight or fight mode, they're panicking, someone is likely to get attacked or get killed by these things. It's dogs have it, I don't understand how people can be so ignorant about these dogs. Why can't they see, hey, these rodents reminds us of dogs. Because dogs terrorize places way more. Just one. All it takes is one of them. One. You're telling me you see one mouse in the city, would you freak out? One mouse. But if you've seen one dog, a pit bull, or even a German shepherd in the city loose, then there's going to be problems. So it's ridiculous how a lot of dog nuts are oblivious to how destructive and how dogs cause problems. They cause massive problems. But I don't want to say we, but dog nutters, dog owners, the dog industry, they just ignore it. They ignore it, but are willing to kill rodents, foxes, coyotes. We're just trying to survive. But a dog that is terrorizing the neighborhood nonstop gets a pass, apparently. It's frustrating. All right, finally back on topic a little. So in GTA in my area, our two main news stations are Global News and CP24. I can't remember what it's called because I don't even watch it, and this is Global News. Just a picture of it, and oftentimes when I pass through and see it, this weatherman is a dog nutter, always has his dog with him. Always has his dog with him while he's doing this weather. So as we want to know the weather, this stupid ass dog nut has his dog, I won't say always, but most times has his dog with him. On live TV, mind you. It's disgusting. And on CP24, it's like a 24/7 news station. You'll get these random ads for dogs, news reports about dogs, little clips about dogs. Even when you don't expect it, it's always dogs. They have like little blurbs of news about dogs. It's like even when you're not even looking for dog stories, this news station always pops up dogs for you. Just dogs, dogs, and it's just so annoying. So annoying. Very, very annoying. From 2016, June 19, dog attacks are a public health issue and should be treated like one. Christine, 55, was mauled to death in the backyard of her East End Montreal home by a neighbor's pit bull. Since the June 8 incident, there has been much discussion in the city and the province about appropriate public policy response. Montreal Mayor Dennis Cordair has promised a new municipal bylaw that will ban the accusation of new pit bulls, mandate the sterilization of existing ones, and demand they be muzzled in public. So, it's tangled. This is very much tangled in strings. So even if you have a pit bull, you're still allowed to have a pit bull. It's so confusing. So there's gonna be this pit bull ban, but if you already have a pit bull, you're still allowed to have a pit bull. Does that make sense? They're gonna ban pit bulls, but if you already have one, we're gonna cut off their junk, cover their face in public. You can still have it. How is this gonna prevent attacks? And as we all know, a lot of them can escape homes, fences, gates, and attack someone. Why can't they just go and find them? Round up every pit bull and just end them right there. Other countries do it. Why can't Canada do this? It doesn't make any sense. It's like you're banning something, but you're still allowing it to exist. And this is what happens in Toronto. They ban them, but we still see them. Like, what's the point of having this ban if they're still going to be there? It doesn't make any sense. And they ask, why did it take another gruesome death and a relentless campaign by a big newspaper like La Presse for the politicians to finally wake up to this long-standing problem? Because they're dog nutters. They're dog nutters. They just, you know, they don't care. They're not proactive. And they're not even reactive either. This is not being reactive to ban something but still allowing them to exist. That still opens the doors for them. They should, find every single one and just end them. When wildlife, coyotes, cougars, bears wander into the city, we take immediate action. I've said this so many times. We don't wait to kill them. I've said this so many times, but with these things, you gotta wait. They may never ever come. And when they do come, it's too late. And guess what they do? Sometimes they just take the thing, put it in some cage, feed it, and then it's off somewhere else. They may say it got put down, but we will never know if it's really got put down. So why do we tolerate savage? Again, pit bulls are not animals. They're just not animals. Their behavior is way, way too different from a real animal. They're mutants. They're just despicable. They don't have the same behaviors, the same functions as real animals do. Real animals, they operate with the climate, operate with the sun, operate with what's going on year round. They have functions, they have structures, they have roles, they do them. They take care of the young, they mate, they do this, they build their homes. They live independently, they survive independently. But pit bulls, they don't do any of that. What do pit bulls do in the spring? What do they do in the summer? What do they do in the winter? What do they do in the fall? What are their roles? What do they do after they mate? What do they do for food? How do they build their home? Nothing. Same thing with any other dog. Nothing. They're not real animals. They're just disgusting, despicable mutants. They look so ugly. You can't find anything in nature that is so ugly. Sure, there are creatures that are unusual, but they're not ugly. I wouldn't say they're ugly. I would say they're unusual. But dogs, pit bulls, they're ugly. Ugly. Some of these pictures they don't do justice. Because you look at them in real life, it's like they're ugly, man. God didn't create these things. No God that exists created these things. Dogs are man-made, created in labs, as experiments, created in backyards. The usual junction of the do-nothing stance on vicious dog is that there are no bad pit bulls, bad owners. Echoing the BS gun lobby rhetoric. No bad guns, only bad people. Let's not even touch that. I shouldn't have even read that. The reality is that dog bites, up to including fatal maulings, are complex public health problems. There are an estimated over 500,000 dog bites a year in Canada, and 3/4 of the victims are children under the age of 10. So if you're under the age of 10, you're likely to be attacked by a dog. But they have a stance where they do nothing, and they're just going to say there are no bad pit bulls, just bad owners. Most of the bites are inflicted by pets that belong to the family and friends. And they are often warning nips. Children's behavior often stimulates that of dogs. They tend not to twig the warning signs like growling. Let's not even touch that, because it's so stupid. So stupid. Then why even mix dogs, pit bulls, with children in the first place? It should be illegal. It should be illegal to have pit bulls and children in the same household. At least. I'm all for eliminating them, but there should be a law that says, hey, you can't own children, you can't own pit bulls and have children in the same household. At no time. No relatives, no visiting, none. They said dogs like this are not pets, they are weapons. They're even worse than weapons, man. They're unexplainable. Unexplainable. Because with the usual weapons, it needs someone. It needs extra resources to be used. Like bullets need a gun, guns need a bullet, swords need a human behind it, cannons need the human and the powder and the cannonball. Tanks, you need a human and all the other functions of it. So again, without the human and the other parts, it doesn't fire, it doesn't work. But with these dogs, as long as the dog's out there, owner or no owner, they're going to be a lethal, dangerous force. They also mentioned the pit bulls in Toronto were banned in 2005, and citizens are better off for it. The number of pit bull attacks has fallen to 13 in 2013 from 168 in 2004. Still one too many. Yeah, all dogs can bite. Many do so for different reasons, including neglect, provoke, protection, all this crap that usually does not exist. There's over 4 million dogs in Canada. About 6% are pit bull breeds, but that's still about 6% too many. Of course, pit bulls aren't the only problem in Canada's far north. Attacks by feral dogs are commonplace. There are many children die, but they don't get the attention or response as a death in a big city. And I've said, in terms of dog attacks in Canada, it's very quiet. Very, 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 very quiet. It's quiet up here. There are some stories here and there, but it's not as common as you know that it should be. And I'm pretty sure a lot of dog attacks happen pretty much every day, every week in Canada, but it's not reported. It's just not reported like in the US or in the UK. But nevertheless, I am here and I'm going to keep digging for Dognuttery in Canada. Here's a list of fatal attacks by dogs in Canada from 1998. You have a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 48, 6. A lot of children, 4, 3, 77, 2, 5, and 1 years old, man. 1 years old. And this one was killed by the grandparents' dog. Can you believe that, man? 10-year-old, 4, 3. Again, never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna keep going. 22. I was killed in the Yukon. So apparently, yeah, like there is a dog issue. There is a stray dog issue in Canada. There's a stray dog issue up north. And just like other countries, it's not good. It's not good. 455. She was killed in her own yard by a neighbor's dog. I think we just read about this one. $60, $38. Not much. They're not showing much here, but still a lot. Still a lot. Yeah, so that's all I had to show. Actually, there's one more thing I wanted to show.
Police in Detroit shoot a lot.
Yeah, I don't understand how they're talking about police shooting these pit bulls, but then it just seemed like they just went off to talking about people adopting them. Like, how do you do that? I want to know, like, why they're shooting them. Like, I want to know why are police shooting?
A dog named Dice is...
I want to know, like, why are police shooting these pit bulls? Why? But they don't even give an answer to that. They don't talk about it. They just jump to some other topic that is irrelevant to the matter. That's kind of off topic, But in Detroit, we're going to hear what they have to say regarding this issue.
Is dead, shot by Detroit police.
They didn't say he bit nobody. They didn't say he was hanging off, you know what I'm saying? None of that.
Now the dog's owner wants answers. What happened in her West Side backyard?
My neighbor, he heard 3 was hanging off, you know what I'm saying? None of that.
Now the dog's owner wants answers. What happened in her West...
Why is it in a cage like this? Why is this thing in a cage like this? It's a cage. Why? It's because these things are dangerous. They're vile. They're unruly.
West Side backyard.
My neighbor, he heard 3-4 shots. Y'all overkilled him.
Thanks for joining us here for the News at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skilling. It was just last week the Local 4 investigators exposed the growing problem of police killing dogs in Detroit.
No, we just watched that video. They barely touched the surface with that. Barely touched it. We don't know why. We don't know the circumstances. Nothing. I didn't learn anything about police shooting dogs in that video. They started like that, but then they just diverted it into something where they just want people to adopt these things. They're just such bullshit, man. They bullshit a lot.
44 dogs were shot by officers in Detroit last year alone, and 100 over a 3-year period. Tonight, a dog owner comes forward to our investigative reporter, Karen Drew, and she joins us with more. Karen.
Well, Kim and Devin, we have talked to many Detroiters about their dogs being shot by officers. And as we have reported, there are times these shootings have been warranted. But this case, it's perplexing because the dog was apparently shot in the owner's backyard. And when the owner asked for information about this case, DPD wanted to charge her nearly $800 to get the answers she was looking for.
You know what I'm saying? What? I don't know.
I think there's more to the story, but let's continue.
Yeah, it's pretty sturdy.
I thought it was, but I went out a dog.
What happened in Fanice Watkins' Detroit backyard?
Where the blood was right there.
Fanice is talking about the blood of her dog, Dice, an emotional support dog. She
This
says
is an emotional support dog. This? No. Look at this thing. You're going to get stressed out. Look at it. And I'm sorry, but the lady's overweight. She's overweight. So whatever emotions this thing is supposed to do or whatever or fix, I'm sorry, I don't think it's working.
Detroit police shot and killed him in this backyard back in February when Dice got out of his kennel.
What was his personality like? Playful, territorial, protective.
Territorial. There we go, territorial. This is a service dog, mind you. A service dog that is territorial. Excuse my pronunciation.
Loving. Yeah, he was a part of my family. He helped me through some difficult times.
So what happened to Dice?
My neighbor, he heard 3-4 shots. Y'all overkilled him. You couldn't tase him. You couldn't wait on animal control.
What'd they say?
They couldn't get him back in the kennel.
This lady wanted them to wait on animal control. Hey, there's a pit bull loose. Hey, animal control, come up here right now. It may take an hour, 2 hours, a whole day. May not come till like the next day. And she mentioned taser? We've seen it before. Tasing doesn't work on these things. It doesn't work on these things.
And they had to put him down. They didn't say he bit nobody.
Fanice is trying to get answers, filed a Freedom of Information request. DPD sent this estimate bill of nearly $800 for her to get those answers. $800.
Yeah, because I requested their dash and their body cam to see what made y'all kill my dog in his backyard.
You don't have $800.
In his
I don't.
So you don't get to find out.
I guess. I'm just without my dog.
She's heartbroken and so frustrated.
Y'all can come to my house and kill mine and walk away and just tell me to hell with it. That's not right. Y'all killed him in his backyard.
As we reported, Fenice is not alone.
When they shot him, they shot a member of the family.
No, not a
44
family.
dogs were shot in Detroit just last year by police officers.
Look at that. Look at that.
Y'all
Reported Fenice is not alone.
When they shot him, they shot
Look at the
a
dog
member of the
active.
family.
44 dogs were shot in Detroit just
See,
last
if
year
any
by
dog
police
can
officers.
act like that, they deserve to get shot. Instead, what they should be doing, these things should be doing when they see anyone, is find a corner, tuck their tail behind their legs, and sit down and shut the hell up. Then you're not going to get shot. Guarantee you that these things are causing a problem. Guarantee that these things have been causing a problem for people in the neighborhood. They deserve it. These dogs are unruly. They can't be contained. They can't really be trained. You can't control them. They always want a fight. So this is what they get.
Police officers.
Y'all can't keep doing that because I can't come and shoot your dog.
Fenice, like many other dog owners that we talk to, say they wish there was more training for officers. Now, in the past hour, I did receive a statement from a spokesperson from Detroit Police stating in part, the actions taken by the officers is under investigation. We are reviewing body camera footage reports and any other additional information.
Let's read the comments.
Mentioned you recently did an entire investigative series on this issue.
We definitely did. We covered a lot of different topics in that. We broke down the causes of this issue, the neighborhoods where more dogs are shot. We followed rescue groups. We also compared Detroit to other cities when it came.
Read the comments. Would an emotional support dog live in a pen in the backyard? I mentioned this, mind you. I mentioned this. Who keeps a member of the family in a cage in the backyard? Why on earth would you get a pit bull as an emotional support dog? Again, these people are stupid. Exactly my point. Why would anyone get a effing pit bull at all? And this nutter says, because they are wonderful dogs, they've gotten a bad name because of birth. Shut up. Shut up. Regardless of if the dog was a support or not, he was in his yard. The kennel is in his yard. And he got out the kennel, but not out of the yard. As an emotional support pit bull, right? Okay, it got out of the cage and was loose, but it's a complete mystery why they had to shoot it. She even described the dog as territorial, so mystery. If you live in Detroit, having guard dogs in your yard definitely are emotional support dogs. Helps keep fools out of your yard. Imagine a department being labeled dog killers. I suppose that it's better than other departments around the country killing people, but still. Wow, I'm not going to read that one. Territorial protective, yeah, that's word for aggressive. That's not a support worthless mutt. Stop calling them animals, people. Oh, it's a pit bull, shocker. Do they kill dogs or pit bulls? Is that the best comment question? Seriously? You wouldn't even know what's a pit bull. Here we go. Listen to this. Listen. I have 2 pit bulls. They go out to use the bathroom, and I'm standing at the gate to take them back in. I love my babies, and if someone kills one of them, no. So, they're pretty much loose, off leash. And let's say child is on the street and they decide to go after the child, there's nothing that this owner can do. Because she says she's standing at the gate. They're loose. Someone's on the other side. They run, jump fences, go under it. There's nothing that this dumbass can do. Good. Frick that pitbull. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I know I'm a little bit off topic at the end, but nevertheless, gotta shine the light on this worthless dog culture in Canada, in the US, in the UK, all around the world. Hope you learned something from these 3 parts of Canada's dog problem. I mean, there's a lot more that needs to be uncovered. I'm going to have to do some digging regarding stray dogs in the Yukon area, or the Nunavut up north area. See what's going on, like what is not being said about the dogs over there. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on looking for other things, shine the light, and hoping that all dogs will be eliminated off the face of the earth. Again, I know I say that a lot, but this is another Worthless Mutts, Gore the Dog Butcher, and remember, it's okay to hate dogs.